Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nerds to Human, and welcome back to Bad North. Bad North is a game I absolutely love. Simple but so effective. Today, though, we will be running as pikes only. Indeed, we did do archers only before, and we're just going to see how we can make this version of it run. Pikes, I do love pikes, great defensive walls, but I'm not sure how this is going to run for the whole game. We'll see about that. Now, I don't actually have all of these options open to me at the moment. Iron Skin, extra defense, probably not too useful with pikes because they're either brilliant or they're dead. Not sure. It's really about them holding their position because, of course, their main weakness is they need to hold formation. Collector, to do with that items, isn't it? Discounts on items, not. I mean, it's okay, but I think there are much better things to do. Skillful, extra skill points more easily. Heavy load might be a useful one. More use of items could certainly be helpful. Sure-footed, though, is an absolute must. Yeah, resistance to knockback. That is our strength. We want to, well, bolster that strength, really, don't we? Warhorn could be useful to us. In fact, we don't really have any options, so we're going to go with that. So that's a decent start for a sure-footed with the Warhorn. Yeah, so this person's going to hold position and we can call in reinforcements. That won't be a bad way to make use of our first man. Let's have ourselves good old Bran to hold the line. Now over here, sharp weapons. I've tried this with pikes. Terrible idea. Weapons are more powerful, yes, but it does actually reduce your knockback ability. And as pikes, you want to knock them back. So skillful, heavy load, iron skin, collector, sharp weapons. Honestly, none of those are particularly preferable. I might go for collector or heavy load. No, heavy load is the one we probably want. I think extra item holds or extra item uses would be grand. Holy Grail, that obviously isn't a hold item, so that's something that we can just have in the background because I don't have any other items I could get at the start. We're going to play an easy because this is going to be horrendous if we do anything but play it on easy. Yeah, we're not going to have level restarts at all. We're going to try and run this through without any restarts. Of course, that's the whole plan. But we'll do it on easy. We did archer only on easy. I think that's sensible enough for now. Maybe if you have all the upgrades and weapons to set yourself up perfectly at the start, maybe that's a decent idea. Now, I said we were going to do pike only. Of course, we are going to be these little militia units to start us off with. So we'll have to do what we can with them. Now, obviously, militia units are absolutely fine and dandy. We have no issue with using militia units, of course. But I will be upgrading the pike. I'm not going to keep them hanging around to make tactical use of them as militia units particularly. I'm basically going to upgrade them when I can. Doesn't mean to say I will automatically have to upgrade these before I give extra upgrades to my pikes, but essentially I'm not going to be using militia units for longer than I need to. Now, I'm going to give a little shout out to Woodle Dude, who quite a small channel, fairly new channel in many ways, but he's done himself a bit of an arch-only campaign, much like me, and he's also started a pike-only campaign. He's some really good commentary on this game, very well considered. So while he's quite a small channel, I definitely recommend in terms of the commentary he gives because he's very considered and he's quite tactically astute, I think, when it comes to considering how best to use these units. For now, we don't need to worry about the tactics too much because we've got ourselves basic militia taking on terrible soldiers. So to start us off, that's 4 on the first island. Not a bad start. So straight away we can see we've got ourselves another unit down on the island of Hump. So we'll probably be heading there, even if Sumberholm up there is better in terms of sheer money. So our plan with the pikes. Now, when I played the original game, I adored the pikes. I thought I would always go with 2 pikes and 2 infantry, maybe an archer if I felt like it. But as I played the archer only, I realised how ridiculously brilliant archers are, and I think this is going to be definitely. I think archers might actually, in retrospect, I feel like they might have been the easiest of the unit only options. I have played a bit of infantry only on my own back, not recorded it or anything, just to have intrigue really, just to kind of get better at using infantry. The plunge is alright, but I certainly think the volley is a lot better. Now, their pike charge, we'll get to that once we get ourselves into pike. But the pike charge, I always found a bit of a misnomer in terms of what it was supposed to represent. But actually, because obviously you kind of want them to hold a line, and charging the pike seems kind of silly, but it's actually amazingly effective, and we're definitely going to be needing that. Now, whilst as the archers, I had to learn how to, for example, realise that actually the archers' main power is their knockback rather than their damage per se. Knocking everyone off the boats was how we won that campaign. This, we're going to really need the items quite a lot, actually. Definitely going to be needing items a lot because we don't have much flexibility. Archers obviously came with range. They could get a little bit of combat up to, yeah, face to face. These guys collapse quicker than archers if they're out of formation. So we really need to be careful when it comes to charging our pikes around. The pike charge is our only real offensive weapon aside from the items. So we're going to have to see about that. Now, preferably I would have much rather to start with some items. And I really would have liked fleet-footed or heavy weapons for this. I think it would have helped us quite a lot. Now, fleet of foot, meaning we can travel quicker, about 20-30% quicker, I think. Might be about 33% quicker. I'm not 100% sure on the exact maths involved. That's going to be really vital. Someone like that to have the mines. We'll get our mines placed across the map nice and quickly. That's going to be key to us. Things like Ring of Command as well. That's obviously always a fantastic item. I need to bear in mind how I'm going to use that. I need to get my... I think I need to get my combinations of traits and items correct here. Now, we've got an upgrade. We obviously are only going to be able to go for pikes, so we will probably consider what we want to do straight away. We've got knockback resistance here, sure-footed for Bran. So he is ideal to be pike. Of course, everyone's going to be pike. But this means that we've got the strongest pike to start with, which means that good old Elwyn here can just support us for the meantime. Obviously, we're going to Hump. We're going to get ourselves a new unit. It's not one of the white banners, so I'm guessing they don't have... I think that's how it works. You don't get the abilities if they're like that. Sad, but oh well. Naturally, pikes, very good for this particular position over here, but I don't want to give up the house where at all possible. This one's quite a nice, easy island to defend. Just one beach entrance. In fact, I'm going to put the pikes there. Now I can see where they are. Because there's lots of one size entrance points, which is kind of what you're going to be wanting as pikes, only is lots and lots of positions where we've got basically one way, one line they have to run through. And certainly for the moment, until we start getting the axe throwers who are the Huskulls, I believe. Yeah, until we get to them, we would very much like, I think, to just hold these one lines. It's going to be the missile troops are going to cause problems. In fact, archers are a big problem. Archers are going to be quite a big problem because we can't just stand there and poke them. We are very vulnerable out of position. So what I might do is rush to get pike charge, albeit in the meantime the militia can actually deal with the archers very well. That's going to be what I generally plan to do. This position is quite good because we can obviously hold, block them from the house here. So we'll just do that and just block up that position too. Now, for now, it's going to be quite easy. We're just taking on basic lads. We've got some pikes who are sure-footed. This is perfect because they are just stuck completely. We'll use both infantry over here, both militia units, to go and block up this part. Yes, actually in the early days, and I think Woodledude talked about this as well, it's actually probably on this campaign better to leave some militia for a little while, just to deal with the archers, because they're certainly going to be a lot better than the pikes at that job. Now, well, I will utilise it, but I'm not going to hold back on getting them stronger and getting them up the path. But what I might do, good old Deirdre there, what I might do is, yeah, rush one unit before I kind of get on to expanding my own army. And by that I mean, you know, rather than getting these up to pikes, I might extend the ability of my first pikeman, Bran. So we're going to get the pike charge straight away, which means we've got some offensive clout. So now I'll be able, I'm going to go down to Pebbles and get this particular unit down here. Should be traded. And we'll see about that. Item would be good, but it's so far out of the way. It's really not worth the trouble at this point. So over to Staple Island. Put ourselves a new unit to face here. So basically they're probably just the archer, I imagine, at this point in the game. We'll use all three, of course. Now, I don't think on easy we should have too much of an issue with regards to having enough money. I think with archers only, at the end, I almost had everyone fully upgraded, and that's only because of, I suspect, probably investing in a unit who died at an earlier point. So now you've got Warhorn, Pike Charge, and you're sure-footed. So this person can hold the line, they will hold it well. We can call reinforcements so they can hold their position. I don't think Warhorn's necessarily the most useful thing with pikes, in the sense that they're either holding strong or they dissolve, but if they take a bit of damage from one unit and we don't have time to recover them, then it's be good to get them up to full strength in between charges. So that's my thinking there. Also, I just didn't really have the options, so it's not worth not taking it, but it's you know, not necessarily preferable either. I definitely want to have the Warhammer. I definitely want rear command. I definitely would like mines, bombs. Those are probably the 4 items that I'd have first and foremost. But you know, can't complain. I don't think the little jug, the Juvenile, will be particularly useful to us on this occasion, because on easy you normally have time to deal with things. Now, I've got the militia, so I'm not going to bother with using the charge. They are vulnerable, of course, militia units. They don't have any shields. So we'll let them do their work for now. Get behind the house, please. You charge in, and we'll be able to hopefully just chop these guys up. Not too many problems. You can see that archers might well cause us a few little problems as long as we are stuck with pikes and just basic militia. Now going forward, these guys obviously don't concern us, but I think what I want to do is get my full roster of 4. Now there will be islands that we can defend with just 2 units, but we're going to be very careful about that. On easy, it's not normally necessary. You normally have enough time, as I said, to collect the coins you need. So I'm unlikely to be taking too many risks with regards to that. Now, sure-footed, do I avoid knockback from the boat? I have a feeling I do, or is that just heavy weapons? I think heavy weapons increases your knockback. Yeah, we can hold position as the boat arrives. That is why sure-footed is key for your pikemen. You always want that with pikes, as far as I'm concerned. So it's just one of those games, quite old school in many ways, where hard mode really does mean hard, and I will have another go at that, probably after this campaign. But it's one of those things where you do need to get your combinations right. You know, you can see here I've got plenty of time actually to go up to these other islands if that's indeed what I wanted to do. Simply because they're stuck in these other little bars here, so it might be worth going over to Pepperholm, Heap and Nullsoy just for that item. Do I think I could get away with that? What are we on now? That would be 4. This is the next one, 5. So I'd have to make that decision soon. But actually, there's tons of time to get to these islands. So I might do Pepperholm now. I've got time to do so. Obviously, a major advantage. The Pikes is, particularly on a heightened position like this, they are going to stand up to quite a lot, at least until we get heavier units later in the game. Now, I think there are some of the really heavy lads later on. Really, it's only level 3 infantry that'll be able to hold them. But with sure-footed, our pikes, I think, should be able to do that as well. That's certainly what I'm hoping. This lad here is going to be a key unit for us. To be honest, with sure-footed, I probably should have given him rear command when I got it. That would probably be preferable, to be honest. Just because then you'd have such an elite unit. You can always rely on them. But, to be fair, if I've got sure-footed 1 and then I've got the full ring of command with the other one, might be good. I've seen people say ring of command isn't very good for pikes simply because they're either holding firm or they're falling apart. I'm assuming, I don't actually know exactly how the game files work with this, I'm assuming that there's an element there of weight of number. And obviously pikes would work like that, it would work by the sheer weight, the amount of men there. So I'm assuming with ring command that it would be better, but I don't know for sure. I'm actually going to get this pike charge up first before I upgrade Deirdre. Heap was fairly uneventful, but I'm just pondering actually to go over here. I know I said I don't really need the money, but actually getting things upgraded nice and early on wouldn't be a bad idea. So I'm going to head over there. And it'll be an interesting one for us to deal with because it's completely flat. Now we've also got ourselves an extra unit over here, so we'll see how this one goes. Could ruin everything for us nice and early, but I think it'll be absolutely fine. Now whilst pikes obviously do like it best with a bit of height, As long as you've got these one-line positions, we can make use of it. And it'll be an interesting little experiment for us. See how well we can do this. And we might well need to use the pike charge, which we haven't actually utilised yet, as well as that war horn. So we're doing all right for the time being. We obviously do have ourselves our little revival item if we need it. So we'll get them to come in. And run straight into them. They missed, which is good for us. They totally missed. We've taken a tiny touch of damage, but as long as it's archers, I say I'm not too worried, but actually it's kind of not ideal. It's alright if they appear together, we can always pike charge them if we have to. But yeah, if they want to appear all in separate boats like they do sometimes, that could actually be more of a problem. Oh, they just got it over the house, that's unsurprising. They are archers, of course. Oh, see, they've done some good damage to us there. Some archers coming. I'm going to get these guys to replenish. They're not much use to me right now. We've only 4 of them. They're pretty darn weak. Now, I'm possibly best here lining up for a pike charge. Now, you're Bran. Bran can just stand in front of the boat and take it, but I might give you a pike charge into them, assuming they don't come straight for you. Because the position of the houses, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. We're going to use the pike charge anyway, I think, just to show it off. Pike charge, they'll run through and they'll annihilate them. There we go. Nice and easy. Good job done. So what we can do over here is, obviously we want Bran to take the charge. Yeah, we'll just have to leave him in there. That'll be fine. And we'll get our pikes over here. Militia can come and play that position. Militia need to go and do a job. Okay, they're come on, stop burning down my house. It's not very helpful. Yeah, that's the problem with the pikes. If they don't come for you, you've got to find a way of panicking and going on the offensive. So Bran can just get right in there. They've appeared in the most hilarious position. So well done, sirs. Probably should have landed your boat elsewhere, and then we get in some more in that direction. As long as it's one boat, Bran can just stand in front of where it's going to land and take just take them on. And to be honest, this is not enough of a problem for us. Bran will be dealing with the work for a while, and which is probably why I'm going to upgrade him up to veteran pretty soon, because that will just allow me to have such an elite unit that I'm in a really strong position. Wouldn't mind keeping the militia back a tiny bit. All this money, of course, we'll be able to get quite a few upgrades. I'll be able to move on to the island item islands next. You can see I'm dyslexic there, can't you? Yeah, and we can get on with that. Yeah, the slightly heavier troops than the basic lads didn't give too much of a problem to us there. So we can get a few upgrades in. Marvellous. So Bran, Warhorn hasn't been of use yet. I'd rather get pikes to veteran. And then I can just afford to get you up to pike. I'm just going to hold back on it. I think as long as there are archers around, I might keep you like that for now until we have a few more weapons to deal with it. So we'll skip our tip to Northside. The fact that we can't skip these islands isn't a problem, I don't think. We can go straight over to Lewin as soon as we want to. So over on Northside, we've got our item here. This should be easy enough to defend. We've got pikes and actually just one entry point. That is magnificent. So Elwine, you can hold that one. And Bran, you can come down with our lovely militia. Who is our militia? I'm still ignoring you. Deirdre. Okay. You can go and guard that house. We'll just stay right out of the way of the archers. They can shoot 2 or 3. I think if you're above 2, you're safe from archers. At least these kind of ones anyway. Just about fine, aren't we? They'll start aiming for whoever's closer to them, which is why normally with infantry you just want to get the infantry nice and close, because they'll start shooting them, then your archers are safe and can fire at them themselves. So we'll just get the pikes back there. If we need to give up this house we will, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. Do just about hit us, but we'll now chop them into the sea, and with that will probably be the islands. That wasn't too tricky, was it? No issue there. 5 more monies. With that, I guess we can upgrade Deirdre. I don't mind. This is quite helpful, to be fair. Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone. I'm not sure that's actually going to be particularly good for us. It's nice to get it this early on. And Philosopher's Stone is the one that gives you extra monies, I think, isn't it? So, yeah, generate extra gold from the islands you defend. Now, I think this is... it's a useful item. Probably best to be on like a passive archer unit. I think it's a bit of a waste of an item spot, essentially. Whilst it is useful, particularly on hard, any extra coin is always welcome. I don't think it's something I'm going to rush to. I think personally I'd like to use it on like a bonus unit. So if I've got, I have my sort of core 4, maybe 5 units I like to use, and then 1 or 2 others that I use just to kind of get extra coins on an island. Someone who can just sit in the background and exist on battles, but isn't necessarily the most helpful. Certainly I'm not going to give it to someone with a trait because I want to make those as strong as possible. So I'm not going to use that for now. I don't think we need it. Bit of a shame. Feels like a wasted trip at this point, but oh well. It's not the end of the world. On to 11, and we can't quite get you to upgrade. So we'll just hold on to the money for now. Move on. We're kind of trapped on North side, so it seems, but it's fine. We can head over to Lewin and hopefully then pick up a new unit pretty darn soon. So obviously we're going to use our same 3 as ever. We've got an interesting island here. The caves always make it a little bit confusing. You can get caught out by them. That's fine with this game. It's not about planning, it's about preparation, because plans will go wrong. They can and they will go wrong. But if you're prepared, I think there's an important nuance there between those 2 phrases. So we'll bring Bran right in front of the boat, bring you in support, and I don't think we'll have too many issues here, at least to start with. So bear in mind where these tunnels lead, because it could prove a problem for the house later. Good thing we're between him and the house, so he wanted to continue moving towards us. Might as well send Bran towards the shield lads. And you can just stand there between the house and our little bridge of doom. So Bran's going to hold that position. That'll be perfect. And you might get a little knockback from the boat, but it's not quite hitting you. Yeah, slightly disrupted them, but not too bad. You've really got to be careful with pikes. I'm going to say this now. I will lose some pikes in the most horrendous fashion at some point when I completely pay no attention. I always find the problem with the pikes is that you kind of just assume they'll be fine because they're such a defensive unit. You just kind of, use them to hold a position. You just leave them. That's always when you suddenly hear the big gong of your unit die. I'm hoping that won't happen too much here, but it will at some point. So we'll get these 2 around to this point. You can see there's all sorts of weird passages through these tunnels. And Bran, of course, can close them down. To be fair, I don't really need to get right on top of the boat here. We can just pin them in between these 2 cliff faces. And to be honest, the militia, little Deirdre up there, isn't particularly helpful thus far. Slightly unfortunate that we had the shield lads go towards good old Erwin. But all is fine. We've got some archers. How lovely. We'll send our pikes around. But mostly it's only 1 archer. So in fairness, I'm not particularly bothered about what they do. Is it Bran over here? Good. That's Bran in the position I want Bran to be in. And I'm just going to ignore the archer. I'm just going to let him shoot for a moment. Probably should have waited a moment to get people in position. But if we can just do some damage, then send these in. Just interested to see the pikes. Yeah, the pikes will do it. They're not very good in melee when they're out of position. But in that case, one of them just ran and poked him. Easy enough. Easy enough indeed. So, brings us 1 closer to the island of Pebbles. And with Pebbles, we can get a new unit. And the white background should suggest that they have a starting trait too. So this one presumably wouldn't. I don't actually know. You can see the spiky thing there, which is sharp weapons, I think. So maybe they will. Anyway, either way, we can head over to Pebbles. Now, Bjornholm, that's 1 unit. Is that just the archer one? I'm really bad at knowing what these symbols are. That's basic lad, that's archer, I think. There's clearly quite a lot of money to be had on that island, and it's quite smally, littly. What's the word? It's not protected very well. So, yes, that's the case. Now, Deirdre, we are at last going to upgrade you to pikes. And we can also, not quite actually, we need 12, not 10. So we can't quite do that. But Pebbles will get us a new unit. We can then head over to Bjornholm. We'll decide which way we're going. I suspect we'll do this. Sharp weapons, if that is indeed what I think it is not good for us at all, really. So I'm not too worried about that. Pebbles first. Got an extra man to then head over to Bjornholm. Now I could actually... could hold one back. No, I'm not going to bother doing that. I was just thinking I could use 2 units on both these islands. Would that be stupid? It might be stupid, you know. No, we'll just get on with it. I think I just saw the little tooltip at the bottom there with the white background. Let's just use everyone for now. Let's just use them all. Let's not do anything too stupid. We don't need to rush. Archers land in then, and we can of course send a new unit, Patton, over to take them out. Now we're still getting militia units from these generator people. Obviously later on we might get given people already archers or infantry, in which case we can use them for their islands, and then we'll have to leave them be and not use them anymore, unfortunately. So that's the way it goes. Unfortunately you can't really properly set the game to archer, or pike only in this case, but you know, we'll make do as we can. For now we've got ourselves some nice militiamen that we can keep using and do what we want with. So we're going to have 4 pikemen, which I think is nice. We can line it up the way we want. Now of course we do want to pull our pikes back at this stage. They don't have shields because they're militia, so we'll just need to keep them safe. Yeah, over to there. Over to there would be perfect. We know we can use the pike charge out there. We'll just hold back on that for now. We'll just run in a lovely inch Patton as soon as they land. That'll be now. Yeah, 2 hits as we run in. Unfortunate, but just the way it goes. Onto the final wave, and to be frank, this has not been a tricky one. Possibly could hold out with 2, but I think with pikes it's always a very high risk game to try and hold out with 2 with pikes. No archers coming, should be fine. Yeah, with that the island's fairly easy defended there. 6 more monies in the coffers, and a few more dead Vikings. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Rousing speeches for Patton. Rousing speeches, that's is that the one that speeds up their replenishment? I think it indeed is. Replenishment normally takes 2 seconds a person, by the way, so even if you've got ring of command it will take longer because it is still 2 seconds per person. So that's an interesting one. Certainly nice to have. It's not the best, but it's better than having none, isn't it, eh, Deirdre? Good old Deirdre. I'd be tempted to upgrade Deirdre less than the others because the lack of trait just makes it slightly less useful. Because Elwyn has 1 extra ability use. So need to think about that as well. Yes, for now we've got Patton over here. We're going to get you into a pike straight away. And once again, Deirdre and Elwyn are going to have to wait for their upgrades, but it's all grand. And just keep moving on. Some lovely topography on this island over here, and I think that's one of the things the game does really well. It's one of those small games that just knows what it wants to do, executes it brilliantly. You've got to be very, very well prepared, as I said before, in terms of what you want to do. And obviously this is a position where I know I can block up this every time and it is all fine and dandy. Now, they look like they're actually going to land and go around there, so that's good for us. There is a tiny bit there, so just need to bear that in mind. It's always worth a good scout of your island before you get too far into anything. But they are going to get stuck all the way around the side there, which is interesting. Bad news if they were archers, we'd have to get around to them, which could cause us problems. No, we are absolutely fine. They keep on appearing on this little scrag of land, which really works in our favour as pikes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. A few more coming over here, but there's no archers, so we've just got lines of pikes ready to slaughter them. So actually we'll just move them forward a little bit because there's no reason to do otherwise. You've got Bran. If anyone's going to be by themselves, it might as well be Bran, of course. Come on! Get in there, Steve. You can do it. There, that's how you die. Okay. And, yeah, this isn't going too well for them because whilst this is an interestingly shaped island, it works so in my favour. It's ridiculous. Though there are some archers here now, and I've just got rid of my last militia unit. So I'm going to need you to use your charge potentially. Actually, to be fair, with just a few of them, we could overwhelm them. Right, I'm going to do that. Just get some of the others in. Now, this is part of the thing I need to now learn of how do I deal with these. Because they're in a really awkward position right now. Who has pike charge? You have pike charge. You get there. If they want to stand there, they're in trouble. See, pike charge isn't going to work in that position. So I'm just going to have to try and overwhelm them, see if it does anything. But we're going to start having problems with archers like this. Without the items, we're going to find some awkward situations. So, no pike charges over here, which means we need to get one of you. Let's say Bran over here. You get over there now. And yeah, we're just going to have to be a bit careful about this. That's fine. The pikes will hold that position. Now, yeah, you get over here. And then we need to pike charge. So this is really awkward. There we go. We've done the job. I'm going to have to figure out a better way of dealing with those archers because that's going to cause a lot of problems for us very, very quickly. Now, the bombs being a projectile are going to help us. The warhammer is what I really need. So I think on the map here, rather than prioritising people, I want to prioritise items, which is why I'm heading down towards Langholm first. That is indeed the sharp weapons icon, and whether or not I get it or not, I'm not actually that interested in it. That will be helpful for me. We're going to go up, I think today's episode will go up to the checkpoint. I think that's a good thing. Because certainly in terms of recording these, if anything goes wrong with recording, it saves after every island. And that's a little bit of a problem if things go wrong. I think last time I did Archer, I only had to re-record the first episode, which was very sad indeed. Or it might have been the first episode of the original Bad North series. I don't know. Either way, you can see here on Easy we've got tons of time to use all the islands up if that's what we want to do. So actually I might go do that, go earn myself a bit of money. Taking the slightly risky decision to come over to this island and try and defend it with just two. I say risky because it's only archers that are appearing, which is a bit of a problem. But if they want to come and burn the houses, I suppose they've got to come up to us. So there's that at the very least, but this is a little bit too tempting to get all these houses. So what I probably want to do, the advantage, part of the reason why I am taking this risk, is because I can see it's perfect for a pike charge. So we can get them into position we want. Now we can just get into position and poke them to death from both sides. Now we will have them where we want them. And, ooh! Get in the house! Yeah, right where we want them. Almost lost her immediately. Okay, it was not quite as good as I said, but it's all fine. It's all fine. Stop panicking, everybody. Yeah, good thing you have replenished. Maybe I won't do the next island with just what I've got. Now, pike charge. Go. Think what? I probably should have pressed that the whole way, but I didn't. So, yeah, you've got the war horn, so I'll probably use that rather than anything else. Might as well get that activated. Give us a few more men, please. And you can stand up there. Ideally, what we'd like is to be here, and then be able to charge them however we like. But unfortunately, that's not going to be too viable. Just to see how it goes. So I'm going to pull them here, and then charge. Oh no, I don't have the charge left. Oh no, damn it! Damn it, blast! You can see now why I want to really get everyone onto charge ASAP. But they do try and run away. So actually, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. I can't believe we almost lost Deirdre straight away. I haven't really invested in Deirdre, so it's kind of why I chose Deirdre with Bran, of course, because Bran's my strongest unit. Bran hopefully will be okay. I'll flee on the boat if I have to, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that. Right, even without the charge, you're going to charge anyway, and you're just going to get down there, straight into them, and just overwhelm them. It's fine. But the reason I did decide to do this as well was just to, whilst it's early on, assess exactly what they can do in melee without the pike charge, because I might have to rely on that at some point, and it's important to know what I can and can't do. So, Patron and Elwyn, can I upgrade either of you? Patton and Elwyn, you've already got the charge. I'm going to get it on Patton because if I'm going to use two of you, I think I'm going to need it. So, Popeye, small island, not very much to gain, but 2 units. So, you can head in here, we can give it a good go. And with a huge cliff like this, we should be absolutely fine. In fact, the archers won't be able to shoot up it, albeit they could stand on this ridge here. But nothing too much to worry about. We have ourselves Paton, and goes down there. Quick regen, of course. And Elwyn, who exists. You have extra items stuff, don't you, or whatever, so which isn't particularly helpful right now, but it exists, and that's something. The only thing is we're lacking a place to charge our pikes lower down, so we'll have to see about how we make this work for us. Could be interesting. Yeah, see, they can shoot from that lower ledge there. We'll just charge at them, and we'll push them into the sea that way. Okay. Swords coming now. As long as swords don't come at the same time as archers, I am very happy with life. Wouldn't mind you, Paton. Just recharge. I know it's only a tiny amount that isn't recharged, but just go and get that filled up. We can hold position without you for now. Got the quicker regen anyway, so it's all absolutely fine. Elwyn just chopping away at them here. Pokey pokey, stabby stabby. They don't know where to go. And on to victory. Only 3 coins, but gets us on our way. And it just gives me a little bit of confidence to start splitting up forces occasionally. Really, using 2 is asking for trouble, but that's okay. That is okay for now. 7 is only going to be enough to upgrade Deirdre with the charge, but we'll do that. What I'd like to do is get someone up to elite. So we have those 2. Yeah, so we have 2 who are getting ready to be elite and 2 getting ready to be veteran. Okay, next turn then. Plenty of time to take extra things if we indeed want to. I think we'll go get the item first, then grab the extra person. We have ourselves our first island of brutes just as I leave 2 units by themselves. That shouldn't be a problem. We'll put Bran on the hill here and we'll be able to deal with those brutes without too many problems. Sure-footed enough to deal with it. So if you have not upgraded your pikemen enough at this point, you'll find that suddenly that whole advantage you had is being destroyed. But with the hill, with sure-footed, we will not have any problems with these lads, even though they could be horrendous. I think they're on the next island as well. That comes with the new unit. So obviously then I have 3 units for that land, for that island, so that won't be a problem either. Honestly though, this will just be a case of poking brutes as they appear up the little cliff edge here. You know, or they're going to walk up this little side hill here, straight into us. But okay, that's fine. You still went for us, not the house, but that's fine. Maybe you stand here and go block that entrance, please. Thank you. Gonna go for a little experiment here. Will the pike charge do it against these lads? Ooh, push them into the sea. Didn't kill them, but pushed them into the sea. So that's another good point about the pike charge I hadn't considered yet. So far we've just popped them into death. Oh, Holy Grail. Always good to have ourselves a Holy Grail. Perfect. So with that, we have Langholm taken and we have Gunningen to go and grab. Now we actually have now 2 Holy Grails, which is interesting. I can be a little bit mad with my killings, so we have a bit of extra life, but they're not the items I actually do want. Albeit they are nice to have, of course. Lets me be a little bit more risky. We nearly lost Deirdre once, but that aside, we've been okay. Let's head over to the next island to get ourselves another unit. This is just a complete bloodbath. It's a very visceral game, actually, in its own weird cartoony way. The blood splatter. There's a brute. So it did say some brutes were coming, but they've all come round like this. No one's actually landed on this little inlet here. So that's a shame. These guys have to do it all. Just all for Elwyn to get the blood on his spike. Oh well. He'll clear them all out. There's a few more. Yet more coming for the same position. But he's in a good place. He's on the hill. He might not be sure-footed, but on the hill he shouldn't have any problem with the brute there. Pokey, 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 stabby, stabby. And he is, of course, slightly more upgraded than these lads over here. So Deirdre is a bit more basic. Simple enough then. Bolger has joined the party. And with that, a Slavic hero is among us, and that will definitely pave our way to victory as we head towards Bresse. 8 on the upgrade here. Honestly, I just want to save up to get us onto sort of a more veteran and elite status, so that's what I'm going to focus on, I think. A fascinating island, this one. Yes, the houses are all over the place, which is always a little bit irritating. There are archers, hoping not too many of them. So as a general rule, we can obviously defend the houses up top very easily. If anyone lands here, it might be hard for us as only pikes to do anything about it. I'm just going to take Deirdre out of this. I'm actually going to have Bulger just to so someone to run and deal with the archers. That can be your job, Bulger. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Let's deploy. Let's see what we have here. So, not a bad position over here to go and block. That means anyone appearing on that position is dealt with. That leads through to here, so I need to bear that in mind. That position will block anyone getting up, because is that the only way up here? Yeah, these two bits are the only way up onto the central plateau. Okay. That's an interesting one. So actually you want Bran to get himself right at the beachhead here. Having sure-footed is such a big boon for us. We really, really do need that on our side. So at the moment it just seems to be brutes coming in. Nice and simple then. Hold our position on the beach and we'll chop them down. Honestly, I could do with you getting here for now. Bring you back in position when it's more useful to us. You see, if there's enough of them, they will push their way through us, so we need to be careful about all that. And I don't want to get myself stuck around here because archers could cause us a lot of problems. Actually, having said that, your pike charge don't need, so get yourself around the corner and just get yourself ready to charge. We'll get the militia to run back for the moment. Ooh. Bring yourself to the front. And we're going to start pinning them down now. You get here. Pike charge there. You get there. Charge, smash, gone into the sea with you. And that worked surprisingly well. So we can at least deal with archers in that manner. It's just the huge amount of them that could be a problem. Right, let's get Bran over here. You need to replenish because the archers really do chop you up. Really could have just picked this house because I don't think it's going to be in trouble. But yeah, if you want to actually turn that way, I suggest that's a good plan for you, sir. Is anyone coming from any other direction? No, you should probably then start backing up this position here. Oh, yeah, see, they almost are knocked back by that. Elwyn, who is not too low either. I'm pretty sure the sheer weight, the amount of numbers of people, is an important factor. It would just make sense, obviously, if one person charges, 9 pikes are not going to smash through. If 9 people charge 9 pikes, they might well be able to smash through. So we'll just have to see about that. They are appearing in the perfect place, right on that beachhead. And as for them, we'll have to just buy their time a little bit. They can be invited along. In fact, they're going to go straight for this house, aren't they? So they are just chopping up those archers. Come on, go and get him. Bran will probably be alright to poke them in the sea, but it is going to cause them some problems. Yeah, indeed it is. So I think just Warhorn. That's fine. Obviously you can't Warhorn from the house when it's still smoking. It actually stopped smoking the exact moment that I did that. What I'd like to do here then, Bran is now nearly full. So we can get him and Elwyn just to pin them in place. I wouldn't mind you just giving an extra line of protect. Actually, no, you need to come and deal with the archers a little bit. It's probably best. And they're appearing at a slightly awkward position, it seems. Right, hopefully this is fine. Just need to take this slowly enough so that I don't lose my eye on either side of this battle. Right, they seem fine. Get you into the archers. Get you into the archers. Poke them in the sea. Done, done, done. A bit of an awkward island. First sort of tricky one with lots of islands low down. Plenty of positions they could land, or at least a few anyway. But a few brutes dealt with. Good to know even damaged Bran can still hold the line. Perfect, that's the under pigeon taken. I think then we'll just swing for the last ones before Bresse. Charge through! Ooh, not the best hit there. The militia went a long way around. I didn't realise there wasn't a little link. But we're fine, we're fine. Hopefully we'll get our new recruit over here, Drudwyn, who is militia, so we are able to make full use of Drudwyn. We'll probably start getting them selected as upgraded units after the checkpoint, I imagine. That seems the most likely thing. We'll obviously get Bran over to the front here. And to be honest, this island doesn't look like it's going to be too many problems for us. But you're not in position, which is a bit of an issue. I anticipated you going around, but I didn't quite see that they'd go the other way. Oh well, all's fine. Bit of an awkward landing this time, but yeah, militia weren't even needed over there, and over here we have them blocked in. Final wave incoming. Can't really see where they are. Most of them are getting slammed into the cliff face. All sheer numbers here, which can actually be pretty dangerous for us. Bran will get you into this position. In fact, we'll just get all of our pikes. Where are you, sir? Get over here. And marvellous. Oh, I do like the pikes. This is good. It's like playing the original game when I just... Pikes ahoy. They're a little bit OP. They've certainly slightly balanced it from the original, I guess. And that is the power of Bran right there. Albeit one of them somehow snuck through. Give him a little poke. There we go. Bye, Jeffrey. With that, a few more coins. Yeah, you can really see that Deirdre there without the upgrades. Just holding off the big brutes there, but not with an awful lot to spare. Really not with an awful lot to spare. So we'll get ourselves a main men over to these positions. Bran here has actually got broken up, which is a bit of a problem. Send more men in and just start chopping them up, because that was a bit of an issue there. Yeah, you see, even Bran in this strong position there got himself broken up. And yeah, just too many of them. They broke through, which was caught me off guard completely. I must say, actually, having sharp weapons as simple militia, not bad for us, actually. Not bad at all. You definitely need to go replenish in that house. Now, they could go through that middle bit, but they're not. Okay, that's fine. You get back over here. And, yeah, we pinned them in now. That's good. Okay. Just about got through that. Militiamen, obviously, going to need to deal with these archers. There's a lot of them, though. So what I want to do is just line up a couple of people ready for a charge. Who else is a bit low? No one's quite on full. Militia. Swing around the side. And dodge. Good, that's kept them busy. And... oh, they're not quite in charge position. You get there. Yeah, we're just pushing them back now, which is actually annoying. That's not actually what we want, and I push them out of the charge position. Let's lure them back. No. This is awkward now. This is the problem with these archers. You're going to have to hold... right. That's kind of what we want, because now we can get into charge position. And charge them off. Doof. And with that, we can now turn and put our power over to deal with these brutes, because there's a lot of them. And they could really be an issue if I'm not careful. So yeah, we're starting to get some squeaky bum time now. And I don't really have time to re-heal people. They are not quite pushing through, which is good. Then we're done. Okay. Nearly lost Bran there. Which, well, didn't quite nearly lose him. He had plenty of men left, but got a little bit scary for a moment. But there we are, 7. Just about to hit the checkpoint. Which, of course, isn't really useful for my loading process. But 18 can now get us upgrades a bit further along. So, Druidwin, I'm going to leave you for now. I'm going to leave these 2 for the moment, actually. Because I want to focus on my 4 first. So Deirdre up to Pikes. What is it? Elite or veteran? Whatever, veteran. We're in a good position then. Now, if we want to get them up to elite, it's 20, 20, 20, and 20. Perfect. So they are all up to veteran. We have 4 veteran Pikes with a marvellous little charge here, which is going to make a big difference for us. But you can still see it's a little bit awkward to pull off sometimes. So we are obviously going to use our next turn and head over to the checkpoint Isle of Bresse, which of course will get the little ding dong as we begin here, and most of it is down at the bottom. Druidwin, we want you out. We want Elwyn, of course. Bran and Elwyn, Deirdre, Patton. We are all pretty similar, all things considered. Bran is, though, obviously our MVP. We need to make best use of him as possible. Without those melee units, we could actually have a problem here if there's enough archers. I'm just hoping there aren't going to be a huge amount of archers. Best plan is probably just to send Bran to the front here. First men land straight into us. Now, possibly not the best idea when it's brutes to block the boat. Bear that in mind then. In come some of the swordsmen. we'll just pin them in place as they land. Bring Bran over here. We can do a little pincer movement on them. And that's one of the nice things we're going to have with our pikemen is we'll be able to get good pincers in. Pairs of 2 can do a lot of damage. But this is also where we're going to need the mines just to buy us time. Now this is an interesting one. There's archers about to land. And we can pull back into that position, ready for a charge. But you also need someone to be a big damn hero and run over here. So Deirdre, I don't know why I'm picking on you, but I feel like you're the one who's going to be sacrificing yourself. We'll see where they go. If they run down here, then we've got them dealt with fairly easily. They are sort of going that direction. No, they're running over here, and that means we can pike them like that, and pike charge. Yeah, he did the job anyway. I could have got the double scissor pike charge there. But it wasn't needed. We'll get to that one day, I suppose. It's going quite well in general. But the thing with this game is it's always going well until it's not. Then it really, really goes wrong. You've lost a few men there, haven't you, Deirdre? So we'll have to get you healed up immediately after this old charge here. Get them in behind. Deirdre straight into the church up top to replenish. No issues straight away. We'll get Bran over to the brutes. And the other 2, Elwyn, head around to their basic militia swordsman. And I could probably do a pat on you helping out as well. If we can just pin them in, that will suit us very nicely. Actually, they're basic lads. And I'm tempted... No, you stay over there, you stay over there. Get over to that position. You, though, do please and come help out Bran, just in case there's an issue there. There is not. We are fine. Just a little bit worried because we did get smashed through last time, or nearly smashed through by the brutes on the shore. So as we swing ourselves to the shoreline, got the brutes in this position. Can you just stand the other end of the tunnel in case they go through? I think that will be the best plan. They'll probably want to head towards the houses over here, but they won't get through. Good. Now I went through the cave anyway, and it just looks like largely trash is coming in to finish off the day. So we'll get a 2-on-2 and a 2-on-2, and we should be fine. Guessing we're nearly at the end now. In defend all the houses, we absolutely should. That seems to be the way we're going here. Oh, I do love this pincer movement you get with the pikes. It is just beauty incarnate. And actually they're going straight into Bran there, so we'll let them do that. And we'll slaughter them all. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And poof. The church gives us no money because it's the church. Damn it. And with that, I think we'll call it a day for today. Checkpoint reached. And I think it's been a very successful start. You've certainly learnt, a bit like with the archers, this is a bit of an experiment of if we can learn to make use of these units by themselves. Certainly without the militia, just pikes, archers can be a bit of an issue. God knows how we're going to deal with the pike, the archer brutes, the sort of crossbowmen later on. Those are ridiculous, aren't they? But we've got ourselves 6 men. 4 are already up to veteran. 2 that need to be upgraded. We'll probably get to that right now, in fairness. Sharp weapons, we're going to leave you as you are for the moment. We'll get Bolga up to pikes, of course. And next time, we'll see how it goes. We need to get ourselves a few more items. I really want to get the mines, specifically with someone who's swift-footed, but we haven't got that yet. Is that the giant symbol? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know all these symbols. So I knew the sharp weapons there. I'm not sure if that's the giant commander, which I have no idea what the point of that is. If you do know what difference that makes, do let me know. 1 extra huge man doesn't seem too particularly useful to me, but it might well be. I don't really know. Do let me know in the comment section below if you have any more advice for dealing with of playing as the pikes. But yes, for now I will leave you. I'm Thomas, this is Tenacious the Human, and this has been Bad North's Pike Only campaign, and a ruddy good start at that it is too. Thank you, and goodbye. Let us have a moment for Domino then, a giant of a commander who, frankly, I completely let down. Here! Yes! That was so good! We'll shoot them as they land. Ow. No, we're fine. Everything is fine. Panic over. It's only a horde of Vikings. It's not actually a problem.